Good morning, my fellow listeners. Today is Sunday, July 22nd, 2018, and Sunday, of course, is the Lord's Day. And on this day, I ask a very serious question. And you don't have to be a Canadian to answer this question because people all over the world have noticed this. And I ask, what the hell is wrong with Canadians? What curse has God put on Canadians which have caused them to be so bereft of honor, to have no form of honor whatsoever, to be so lackadaisically unpatriotic, unsupportive of their country, so willing to support politicians who destroy our nation, and not only that, but who are so unready to support their nation in a time of any crisis whatsoever. For example, no other country in the world, not even all those people who are goose-stepping in North Korea would put up with what Canada has put up with from other countries. And the reason I'm talking about this is because of the reaction I got. And this is not just a problem with left-wing Canadians. Don't you conservatives try and act like you're innocent, because this is actually something that happened between me and so-called conservatives. It's conservatives and liberals in Canada who have absolutely no honor with a small minority of Canadians which have some form of honor. No other country would put up with what we put up with from other countries. For example, this trade war that is going on. Now let me give you an example of why Canadians have no honor. I put up a post online advocating for Canadians to turn off the maple syrup spigot. That is my new hashtag. Turn off the Canadian maple leaf spigot. Turn off the maple syrup spigot. And buy Canadian and support your country in this trade war. Support your country like every other country in the world would when their country is faced with this. Now, I said that because Trump put a tariff, and I say God bless Donald Trump, first of all. God bless America, too. Let me tell you something. Let me give you an example. Americans have elected a leader who has put America first and their country first. Canadians elected the long-haired macdaddy Justin Trudeau, who puts just about every single other people and country before Canada. Whether it's giving billions of dollars to other countries, when we have natives who are living with poisonous, dirty, stinking water with no shoes on their feet, they live in like in Somalia. You have the long-haired macdaddy Trudeau who gave $10 million to Omar Khadr, who killed 2 soldiers. He gives free laptops, free dental care, free college tuition to refugees. Canadians don't get that. He gives free housing to illegals who come to our country illegally. Canadians don't get that. Many Canadians died out in the cold last winter. And just the other day, many Canadians in Quebec died in the heat. And all of them had nowhere to go. They don't get free housing. But the illegal aliens who broke our law do. And yet, even after all that, you've still got a lot of Canadians with no honor, these tacky-head Canadians, maple syrup Canadians who still support Justin the long-haired macdaddy Trudeau. Americans would never put up with that. Americans have gone the other way. They've elected a leader who puts America first. Americans have rallied around Buy American and Hire American. But Canadians with their honorless selves have decided to get angry with me when I put up a posting advocating the very same thing but for Canada. buy Canadian, especially in this trade war. Now, why I say that is because, yes, we do protect our fine Canadian dairy farmers, and rightfully so. We should be protecting our farmers. We want to protect Canadian food. We should. Now, I believe in free trade, but there are certain things we should never trade on. And one of it is our food. We shouldn't trade our food. And America shouldn't either. Now, if they decided to protect their dairy farmers, I'd say yay and amen, boom, shakalaka. But they've put a tariff on steel and aluminum, and we should say no. We should say, you all are putting America first. We're going to put Canada first. We're going to put our farmers first. But you know what these Canadians have done? They get angry with me for saying that. How dare you say that? You can't say that. Oh, so now you like Justin Trudeau and all this other stuff? You must be out of your cotton-picking mind. Can you imagine that? If the rules were reversed. Right now, America protects Iowa farmers, especially in regards to ethanol. If Canada elected a leader which said, oh, you guys are protecting your ethanol? Well, we're going to put a tariff on your steel and aluminum and your cars. Americans would be up in arms. They'd be rallying together. They'd be united. They'd say, hell no. If you want to put a tariff on ethanol, that's fine, but you're not touching our steel. You're not touching our aluminum. We're going to rally around. We're going to buy American. We're going to hire American. And we're going to say, to hell with you. We're turning off the American spigot. We're going to buy American. That's what they would do. And Donald Trump would be leading the pack. He would destroy us in an afternoon. But Canadians, left, and I'm talking about Canadians, and these Canadians are mostly on the right. They get mad at me for saying buy Canadian. How dare you say that? How dare you have honor for this country? How dare you try and support this country? How dare you? You're a traitor. You're this and that. You're blah, blah, blah. You must be crazy. Can you imagine that? And that's why I say we need help. God have mercy. We need help as a people. Canada, Canadians, what is wrong with you Canadians? Why do we not have honor? We don't understand humanity. Help us, Lord Jesus, help us. Canadians need help. Canadians need help. We need help. We need help as a people. We are fools. No other country, no other society would have that reaction. A simple patriotic reaction about buy Canadian like you tacky Canadians have. Can you imagine that? Americans are putting America first. They're rallying around buy American and hire American. They're rallying around Donald Trump, a patriot who's putting his country first. And we, dishonorable Canadians, elect Justin the Longer and macdaddy Trudeau. And we get angry when someone says buy Canadian. We need help. And for all the Americans who are watching this, I have no problem with you whatsoever. I support you. I support your honor. You people are some of the most honorable people on the planet. You've elected a great president who's standing by your country, who's putting your country first, and we dumb, stupid, pathetic Canadians are getting angry with people like me who say, buy Canadian, support our country, put Canada first, and stick up for Canada, our beautiful country, which God gave us. God gave us this country. This beautiful land with these beautiful trees and these beautiful buildings and beautiful highways and byways and beautiful natural resources. And we're tearing it up. We can't even protect it. And we get angry with people who try to advocate protecting it. Can you imagine that? We are spitting on the gift that God gave us. And that's why nobody respects Canada anymore. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. It's a sin and a shame that we as a people can't even be honorable towards ourselves. You can't even say that we're worshiping the devil, because even the devil wouldn't dishonor himself. What is wrong with this country of Canada? What is wrong with these people, God? What have we done? Were we sinful in another life? Did we do something terrible in one life and you're punishing us in this life? What have we done to be such a dishonorable, disreputable, trifling people? So we need help. When I see these comments simply advocating, supporting our country, standing up for our nation, yes, I understand why Donald Trump has done what he's done. But he should be putting a tariff on his dairy farm and protecting his dairy farmers. Instead of putting a tariff on our aluminum and steel, we should be standing up and saying, until you do that, we're going to turn off the maple syrup spigot. We're turning it off. We're not going to put our Canadian hands on any American products. And we're going to support Canada. In this trade war, we don't have guns and bombs. We have our wallets and we're going to buy only Canadian. And yet many Canadians are getting mad at me. Can you imagine that? First you elect Justin the long-haired macdaddy Trudeau, who's put us into this situation in the first place. And now you get mad at me when I try and advocate how we can fix it. No honor. No honor. So I say to the few Canadians who have any bit of honor, stand up with me. Stand up with groups like Ontario Proud and Take Back Control in Canada. Stand with us and say buy Canadian and say no to American products. Not because we hate America, but because America is putting America first. We should put Canada first, and we're going to do that, and we're going to spit in the face of those dishonorable, disgusting Canadians who got no honor. We said to hell with them. Go burn in hell, and let's fry some jerk chicken over them with your dishonorable selves. Bye, Canadian! This is the Arana Nation.